Morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, thanks for tuning in. This morning we are here at Triumph and I'm out on the new Triumph Trident 660. It's the entry-level bike in their range, aimed at beginner riders should I say. And this is, it's a pretty straightforward bike by all accounts. There's not too many controls to it, but it's had rave reviews. So let's get on board and see exactly what this bike's about, shall we? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's got a gear selector on it, which is good, so it tells you what gear you're in, which is always handy. The screen is quite clear to see. Not sure if you can see too much of that with my phone in the way, but basically the screen is looking pretty good. But yeah, it has got an onboard computer giving you different information, so that's kind of cool. What's that tick about? I don't know. Ah, right, you tick into that. So you press the tick, and it brings you into riding modes, bike setup, trip data, display setup, Bluetooth, so you can connect your phone, which is cool. Reset to default. So that's basically it. Riding modes, you've got rain and road, and we'll set that to road. ABS, map, TC, so you can set that stuff up as well. What's MAP? What's that? I don't know. Road or raid. Those basically look like they're set up. The ABS, map, and TC looks like it's set up based on the mode you select, rain or road. Oh, you can flick by the looks of it between riding modes by pushing that button down there, bottom left. Anyway, okay, finally, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, guys. I love the way she sounds. Can you hear that? That's absolutely awesome. Look left, look right. And off we go. Oh, guys, the sound of the bike is brilliant, don't you think? It's a really pokey engine. I've got to remember it's got no quick shifter on it, that's the problem. This bike has no quick shifter. I tell you what, you're not going to be disappointed with the engine, it's brilliant. I mean, it's quite close together, it's only a 660. But it's a lovely little engine, it's really pulling beautifully. It's not a 1200, so don't get on the bike thinking it's going to be super quick, super fast. I mean, at the moment I'm in 5th gear, doing 30, so, it's all very close together, the gearing. You're going to probably feel like you want to change up more frequently than what you normally would on a bigger bike. But it's a smaller engine, so that's fine. But look, the package is excellent, actually. It's a lovely looking bike. You wouldn't go too far on this, I don't think, but it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good, guys. You just twist the accelerator, twist the throttle, and it really, really does want to go. It's a lovely sounding exhaust, and it's tucked in beautifully. The suspension is quite tight, I'd say. I'm not sure if there's adjustability on the suspension, but if there is, I'll inform you of that here after a bit more research later on. But yeah, no quick shifter, nothing like that. But it's absolutely lovely. I mean, it's a little pocket rocket, Lovely little retro looking bike. And it just... It wants to go. Back brake is good, yeah. Front brake's awesome. Back brake's good. No problems in the braking area, guys. So yeah, it's an upright position, as you'd expect on a little naked bike. Knees are tucked in nicely, sitting slightly canted forward. Not really any pressure on the wrists. Very clear display. The mirrors are good once you get them into the position that you want them to be in. They're very good. There's not really any vibration out of the mirrors. And yeah, I think it's a lovely little bike. The seat's very firm, and your knees are up. You know, they're for a 6'3" person like myself. My knees are up a little bit into the body of the bike. But yeah, overall, it's really good. When it wants you to change up, I don't know if you noticed this. If I change down to another gear, on the speedo, it flashes when it's saying to you, you've got to change up. Just there. So, oh, wrong gear, Phil. Yeah. So, but it feels very comfortable and capable. But straight away, oh my God, that was a bump. Oh, yeah. The suspension is quite stiff. It is quite stiff, guys. But yeah, I can't complain. For the price point, you're not going to get adjustable suspension or, you know, any of the electronic stuff. It's quite a hard ride. And that, is that top gear now? Yeah, that's top gear, that's 6th. Oh, oof. Yeah, that really is. The suspension is very stiff. Very stiff indeed. For a big guy like me, that's not great, to be completely honest with you. Oh, it's far too stiff. But yeah, how does it handle? Into the corners really well. Brakes really well. It's an engaging ride. But you know, the engine where it's a 660, oh, braking. The engine where it's a 660, you are going to reach its limit quite quickly with regards to trying to push it on. I'm doing 32 in 4th gear, you know, whereas on my bike I'm doing 32 in 1st gear with no problems really, or not 32, maybe 25 I suppose, before I change up into 2nd. So yeah, this really is a little, you know, this is a commute bike and a Sunday blast, but you're not going to do much more on it because it's quite small, and I think the pillion seat, well, no, you know, the pillion seat seems okay. The seat for the pillion seems quite soft actually, which is quite nice. Round the bends, round the corners, when the road is smooth, it's a really engaging ride. It's really nice. Definitely an excellent beginner's bike. You know, to get you into biking, first step, it's very unintimidating. You can flat foot easily, even if you're 5'2", I reckon. It's quite light, it's nimble, easily handled. It's got a beautiful exhaust note, absolutely beautiful. You know, I wish my bike sounded as good as this. It doesn't, you know. It sounds wonderful. And I think Triumph, well, a lot of their bikes, or most of their bikes, they have that wonderful sound to them, don't they? Which is excellent. So, you know, it's a really nice bike. The brake's adjustable, but that doesn't look like the clutch is. The gearbox is really good. It's very smooth. Very, very smooth, guys. No issues there at all. Switch gear, it's fine, absolutely fine. You're not going to have any problems with that. Easy to use. Everything's where it should be. Easy within reach. There's the bibber, I don't know if you can hear that. I'm in 6th, doing 56, and it's flashing to say change up. We haven't got another gear, little bike, I'm sorry. Okay, so here we are doing 60, and I honestly don't think you want to go much faster on this bike. At this point, the engine is working very hard indeed, revving away. 65, and yeah, you've reached the limit of the engine. I don't know how fast the bike goes, but at 65 it's screaming. So, and I suppose where the gearing is close together on this bike, you're going to reach the top end of it very quickly. That's just what's going to happen. For the price point of where it is, I think it has everything for a beginner rider. You know, it's going to be an excellent machine to learn on. And that sound. The exhaust. It sounds brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The gearbox is slick. Yeah, we don't want to ride this on the fast roads. Let's keep this on the 40s. Yeah, light clutch, easy gear change. It's lovely, really. No heated grips to speak of, guys, but I'm sure you can add that as an extra. This is where I came in earlier this morning. These lanes along here are excellent, really. So we're going to go left here. And it really feels so secure when you're leaning into the corners. It feels so good, guys. Really, really good. So they've done a great job with this bike, I think, really. Lovely, lovely bike to ride. This is a country lane dream. I can't speak highly enough of the way it sounds. I mean, it's epic. Absolutely epic, the sound of this bike. Oh dear, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So what we will do is, we'll try and find a nice place to stop. And we'll do a country walk around. Shall we do that, guys? What do you think? I think we should. Just using the gears to slow her down. And there is engine braking there, it is good. If you time it right. The engine braking is fine. I keep trying to quick shift. No, Phil, there is no quick shifter. I really do miss that now, all of a sudden. Something I never had before, and you know, now you really want the quick shifter, don't you, Phil? Yes, I do. Yeah, she just glides into the corners. Such a lovely little bike, really. The stand, I will say, to find the stand, I've got to put my foot quite far out because the foot peg is quite wide, so you've got to really look for that. Okay, so here we have, guys, the 2021 Triumph Trident 660, and it's a little rocket, really. It's a beautiful looking bike, chain driven obviously. You'd get a small pillion on the back of the bike. The brakes are very good. Nissin brakes, they're absolutely fine. The back brake, the front brake, they're very good. They're progressive, they're not going to throw you off, which is lovely. The design of the bike is retro, I suppose, really. And it really has, you know, Triumph have done a lovely job. You see that headlight? This headlight here is absolutely lovely. It's really, really nice. So the retro light, the light's really, really good. It's a lovely looking light. And around here, you guys said you've got the LED front lights, which are really good. Your front wheel with the brake. Shower forks, which are adequate, they're good. The suspension is quite tight for my liking, guys, but round the smooth country lanes, no problem at all. The mirrors are really good, they sit in place and they're very big. They give you lots of vision, which is great. The position on the bike is upright. It's not really cramped. I mean, it's actually really good for a small bike. It gives you a lot of space to ride. My arms are out in front of me and quite relaxed. The foot pegs are good. The exhaust, see how it's tucked away so nicely. That's a really smart job they've done with that. That's excellent, really, really good. And I know that we're always getting tail tidies, but you know, this one looks pretty smart, really. I think it looks quite nice. As we look at the rear, it's you know, it's very nice looking. Got a nice backlight there as well. They've fitted that in beautifully, I think. So overall, I'm really, really impressed. It's a lovely little bike, a perfect starter bike for anyone really. There's no weight to it, so it's not intimidating, it's low, you'll flat foot no problem at all. You know, the biting point of the clutch is there and it rides exactly how you would expect a 660 to ride. The gearing is quite close together, so you do reach the top end quickly. So by the time you're doing 60 and 6th, really, she's going to start screaming to go any faster. Obviously, she will probably do 70 or 80 miles an hour, I suppose, no problem, but really, this bike is all about country lanes and Sunday blasts. You're not going to tour on this bike, but, you know, it's horses for courses. And I think for the price, you're getting a really excellent machine. A really, really excellent bike. So with the side stand down in neutral, bike switched on, this is a really nice little unit here. And you've got lots of options. It's controlled by these buttons here. And then you've got a home button there. A home button there. Then you've got the main menu. Push into that. You've got riding modes. You've got the bike setup, the trip setup, display, Bluetooth, and reset. So that's basically it, guys. That's everything that you need. So, yeah, thus endeth the bike walk around. And we're going to get back on to this lovely bike into the country. Quick round trip back to our friends at Ling Triumph in Great Dunmow. Oh, just listen to her. Just listen. Oh, lovely. Might need to brake here, Phil. Yeah, but the brake's lovely. Just tap that back brake. It's really responsive, really beautiful. So yeah, this bike on the little lanes like this is really, really good because you're going to reach the, you know, the top end of the rev counter quite quickly. And it's got 11,000 on the rev counter. I don't know why it's got that on there because you're never going to get the bike to 11,000 revs. I don't think. It's a bend. Let's slow down for it. Cover the brake. Nice room to cover the brake, you know. It's a really engaging ride, guys. It's really good fun. The bike is really flickable. Reacts really well to your input. Easy to lean. Easy to wiggle. Yeah, it's just a really, really good bike. And on these lanes, okay, the bumps, they're a little bit much, but, you know, when we're on the smooth road, it's really very good indeed. Look at the sun coming out now, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So we're on our way back to Ling's now. Just want to say a big thank you to Triumph Ling for allowing me to take this bike out today for a quick spin and walk around. It really is a very, very good bike. I must have said it about 15 or 20 times already now, but yeah, it's a lovely little bike and you can really move it around as you want. For a beginner bike, it's absolutely perfect. You know, if you've just done your license and you want something that's unintimidating, fun to drive, engaging, with an excellent exhaust note, you know, really responsive response on the throttle, excellent brakes, you know, quality feel to the bike, really, and it's beautiful to look at as well, you know. This bike really ticks all the boxes for the area that it's in, I think. And also, it's not a maniac, you know, it's not going to scare you. I think I'm going to need to get off the road here to let this guy past. Oof. Blimey. The lanes are so much fun. Yeah, so, you know, as a first ride bike, you know, your first bike after passing your test, absolutely perfect. And I love the retro look of the bike, you know. The mirrors are excellent, really good, easy to see out of the mirrors, and there's no nonsense with them moving around while you're riding. There's no reverb or unable to see. Even while I accelerate here, they're staying firm. Really good. Brakes are excellent. Look, car coming, no problem. You can negotiate that. The gear shifter is really good. You know, the gearbox is excellent. Shifter is easy, works nicely. No dramas there at all. And where I'm riding at the moment, guys, around these lanes where you've got the bends coming, you've got other cars coming the other way. You can't really go that quick. Oh my God, I didn't want to hit that. Oof, that would have been me off. It's a really excellent ride. You know, this is where this bike is at its home, I think. Down these country lanes, you know, when you've got a bigger bike with much more capacity, it's too big for these lanes, but this bike is perfect on these lanes, absolutely perfect. So Sunday country lane rides, yes. Little commute to the office, yes. You know, I've got a rucksack on today because the saddlebag was going to be way too big. Saddlebag, sorry, tail bag, should I say, was going to be way too big. The engine braking's good. I just can't see any negatives, really, guys. I really think that if you're out there looking for your first bike, get yourself down to Triumph and get yourself on a test ride for one of these, because they are. It's just a scream, really. You know, not a bike you want to take on the motorway. Not really. It's not going to be much fun. But if you're just looking for a little bit of local riding, out with your mates, commute to work, off to the shops, that sort of thing. Getting to town, getting through the traffic. This is the bike. And also, no sat-nav on these sorts of bikes, obviously, so I can get my phone easily onto the handlebar with my phone grip holder that I've got. No dramas there either. Oh no, road ahead closed. That's not good news, I don't think. That's not good news, I don't think. U-turn. Oh, perfect. So overall, guys, a lovely little bike. Really, really easy to ride. Unintimidating. Wonderful sound. Great gearbox. Wonderful mirrors. Looks like a dream. The seat is firm, but it's been fine actually. I've been out for an hour and, you know, it's absolutely fine. Brakes are good. Front and back brakes, really, really good. Yeah, I really can't complain, to be honest with you guys. It's an excellent little bike. Thanks very much to Lings for allowing me to ride the bike today, to take her out for a quick spin. And very, very impressed. So if you're interested in a test ride, then of course get in touch with them, guys. Give them a shout. You won't be disappointed. It's a really, really excellent machine. Nice guys. Lots of stock. Come down and have a chat and get yourself out on this beautiful machine. That's it from me today, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. Take care when you're out there, and I'll see you next time. Cheers now, guys. Bye-bye.